Hey everybody, Rob here. Lazy Sunday afternoon, and I figured it's one of the things I wanted to show off is roasting coffee. So what I have here is I have a couple coffees from the Coffee Bean Corral. These are green beans, and one is organic Colombian, and we have some Costa Rican as well. So we're going to be doing a blend. Get a little bit of both. I prefer a light roast because when you roast coffee, the darker you roast it, the more of the actual flavor of these beans you lose, and it's more just the bitter notes, and you lose a lot of the character of the beans and where they come from, and the elevation type of trees, all that kind of stuff. So I'm going to show you what I do on a regular basis. Is like every Sunday, every Saturday, Sunday, every weekend I roast basically the week's coffee, it takes about an hour or so. It's maybe not for everybody, but once you start going down this path, it's almost impossible to stop going there and buy that regular off-the-shelf coffee. So just kind of wanted to show you guys my process, and here we go. So number one is the heat gun. So I use a Wagner heat gun. When I started doing this, I started using a popcorn popper, but this guy gets really hot. We pump up the heat, and basically the coffee goes in this bowl, the beans go in this bowl, and then you just kind of heat it up. You use this little stir there to stir it up. A whisk is what they call those things. So use a whisk to stir it, and you heat it with the gun, and then it takes roughly like 5-10 minutes, about 10 minutes to get to brown where you want it. So here's the coffee beans. Here are some gloves because this gets hot. And then I use a cooling rack here to cool the coffee once it's done roasting. So I kind of put it on this and then put it there, and I got a fan hitting it so it cools off. Once the first batch is done, I got a bowl right there to throw it in so I can kind of put the second batch in. So that's the process, and let's roast some coffee. All right. Time to roast some coffee. Start by turning on the heat gun. I just want to show you what I'm seeing here. So turn it on. I put it all the way up to the highest setting. So this goes up to 1300 degrees, and it's pretty hot. So you got to be careful when you're doing this. And then what I also do is while this is heating up, I kind of prep the oven, if you will. Get this bowl kind of warmed up a lot so that when the coffee goes in, when the beans go in, they're going into a hot oven, and they immediately start kicking into gear. So that's it. So enjoy the show. Gloves are important. At least just this one. So basically I wait until this thing's kicked up to 1300 degrees and the coffee goes in. All right, now you can see it's not blinking anymore. That means we're ready. So we're gonna dump the coffee in while the heat gun is in there. We're gonna get to roasting. So this is really it right here. You just heat it up, stir it up, and you keep this going for about 10, maybe a little bit longer, depending on how long you want to roast it for. But what we're going to aim to do is we're going to roast this. You're going to see it turn brown, and then you're going to start hearing it pop like popcorn, and that's called first crack. And when it hits first crack, that's when it's first drinkable as coffee. So going to do this for a little while, and yeah. The one thing you definitely don't want to do is you don't want to scorch the coffee. So like, you figure out how to find that line of like being too close or too far away with the heat gun. Too close, you're just going to burn it in some places where it's undercooked in other parts of the bean. So you definitely don't want to do that. But yeah, that's pretty much it. You start seeing some of this chaff coming off. That's going to be happening a lot more as you roast it. Now we're
starting to get a lot more color here, and it really starts smelling amazing at this point. It's one of the real joys of doing this. Even though this is a pretty tedious job, and I'm sure most of you are like, there's no way I'd sit here with a whisk and just do this for an hour. I love the way it tastes, and I love the way it smells, and I love everything about this, so this is actually a joy and a pleasure for me to do. So we're just starting now to get into first crack. You're going to start hearing some little pops here, kind of like popcorn. And this is where the coffee is kind of first drinkable. You hear that snap right there? So it takes about a minute to get through this first crack. And I go roughly 30 to 45 seconds after first crack is done. And that's when I'm done. It's over. And it's kind of a light to medium roast. You get a lot of flavor of the bean, you know. It's really amazing. It's really amazing. So yeah, so just listen in and you hear the sounds of first crack. So at this point, it's kind of, first crack is about 3/4 done. We're starting to slow down with the pop. So from this point on, I start counting roughly 45 seconds. And that kind of gets me right to the sweet spot. So we'll start counting. Actually, I'm going to stop because we are in second crack. That advanced pretty quickly. Second crack sounds more like Rice Krispies than it does more like popcorn popping. So sometimes, if you're a little overzealous, as I just was with the heat gun, like in there, you can actually pretty quickly get to second crack. And second crack is kind of where your coffee gets really more into that medium to dark roast, and you start losing a lot of the flavors. It's still great for espresso. Great if you love a darker roast. By the way, light roast and dark roast, same amount of caffeine. Just want to clear up that misconception. But I actually prefer a lighter medium roast. When I drink it black, it's amazing. But yeah, so I spread it on there and turn on the fan on it, and we let that cool off. So yeah, so that's how you roast coffee, and that's pretty much it. So it's gonna sit there on that cooling rack while I do the second batch. I won't make you sit through that one, but that's essentially the process. You see, that didn't take too long, maybe a little bit long. I know it's not for everybody, but I love it. My wife loves it, and we're gonna have the most amazing coffee tomorrow. So the video I post tomorrow, I'll show you what it looks like when you brew that coffee right the day after it's been roasted, and then I can humble brag to you about how amazing it tastes and how you guys are all missing out on how delicious it is. So, yeah. So that's how I roast coffee, guys. I hope you enjoyed my video. I just wanted to add one last thing. I mentioned Coffee Bean Corral. I actually we like these guys because of the bags that they send. So we also order from Sweet Maria's and happymug.com. So if you're interested in getting into roasting coffee and you want to check it out, Sweet Maria's and happymug.com, and also Coffee Bean Corral. We like these guys because of the bags. I think I like the selection of coffees better at the other two sites, but I'm still exploring options. And if you guys if anyone out there roasts coffee and they have a place that they really love to order coffee from, so just let me know. I'm actually very interested to try stuff. I didn't really talk about the exact farm or anything that this coffee's from. You can see that there. Because I'm still getting used to the different regions, and I think, kind of getting an idea of what each region provides, and maybe
that's, you know, it's a long, dark road to go down as far as learning about all these different coffees that are out there, or all these, I should say, coffee beans and varietals out there. But, you know, I'm learning what each one kind of tastes like, and how they taste, light roasted, dark roasted. There's a lot to explore, and then I think, you know, as I get deeper into this, down this path, I'd like to kind of explore different regions within a region, so, or different farms, I should say. Different producers. So anyway, I just wanted to say thank you for watching this video. I hope you learned something. I hope you enjoyed it. If you have any questions for me about this, let me know. And like I said, if you have any suggestions for coffees to try, or places, farms to try from, or sites to buy from, I'm definitely into trying a lot of stuff. And also, the other thing is I'm hoping to get a better roaster than just sitting there with the heat gun. Totally a pain in the ass, and I hope to get a machine at some point that will help me kind of produce coffee a little bit easier without standing there kind of whisking it for, it takes roughly 10 to 12 minutes, I guess. I never really timed it, but somewhere in that area to really get from fresh bean to dark roast. Anyway, I'm blabbing now. So I'll see you guys next time. I hope you enjoyed the vid, and click like and subscribe if you do. See you later.